Good afternoon to all of you.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Okay, so still I'm waiting for students. There are total 44. We will wait for 2 more minutes and then we will start. So meanwhile, you may start writing these points. That is unit number 6, laser, give heading, and you can start writing these things in notebook. That is 6.1, subheading, subpoints. Write down these points and then go for 6.2, 6.3. This slide is visible to all. Chapter number 6, laser.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So those who have joined, everyone start writing these points related to laser. So I can dictate one by one. You continue your write up. So first is 6.1. That is interaction of radiation with matter. Interaction of radiation with matter. In that, 3 terms are there. First is stimulated absorption. First is stimulated absorption. Then second, spontaneous emission, or you can write spontaneous and stimulated emission. So there are types of emission. First is spontaneous emission. Second is stimulated emission. Then next point is population inversion. Population inversion. After that, next is pumping, or you can write pumping methods. Pumping or pumping methods. Then next term is metastable state. Metastable state. Next point is properties of laser. Properties of laser. Afterwards, continue 6.2. You can start on next line. 6.2, helium neon gas laser. It is called as HENE gas laser. The next point is holography. Next point is holography, in bracket construction and reconstruction. Construction and reconstruction, bracket complete. And last one is applications of laser. Applications of laser, in bracket different fields, that is science, comma, engineering and medical, bracket complete. So for this chapter, numericals are not there. So those who have joined, everyone complete this write up, and then we will start discussing these things. So take your time, write it properly. Okay, is it over?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now we will discuss these things. So what is meant by laser? So long form of laser is light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. Light amplification by stimulated emission of radiation. This is the long form. So there are two terms. First is light amplification, means this one. First is light amplification and second is stimulated emission of radiation. So we are amplifying the light by using which process? By using stimulated emission of radiation. Okay, so for that we have to know first what is meant by stimulated emission of radiation. याच्यामध्ये वेगवेगळे प्रकार आहेत, तर त्यातला हा एक आहे तो स्टिम्युलेटेड इमिशन ऑफ रेडिएशन. आत्ताच तुम्ही जो सिलेबस पॉइंट लिहिला त्याच्यामध्ये हा पार्ट आहे. कुठे तो? तर इथे स्टिम्युलेटेड ऍब्सॉर्प्शन, spontaneous emission and stimulated emission. So if we see these terms, so stimulated emission is there. Now we have to just discuss these things. So if we see here, three figures are there and the interested term which gives us laser beam which is here, that is stimulated emission. Now first try to understand what exactly it means. So everyone knows the laser beam. I think everyone have handled the laser pointer, is it right?
Yes, sir.
ठीक आहे. लेझर पॉइंटर जे आहे तर तो प्रत्येकानं हँडल केलेला असेल. तर त्यामध्ये आपण बघतो की सेल म्हणजे केमिकल एनर्जी आपण यूज केलेली असते. वी जस्ट कंप्लीट द सर्किट बाय प्रेसिंग द बटन and we can get a red color intense beam. So that is nothing but the laser beam. Now we are discussing the reason behind that what happens exactly so that we can get this laser beam which is having amazing properties, that is high intensity, coherency, then less divergence, etc. If we see this figure, there are three types. First is pumping or excitation, or it is also called as stimulated absorption. Next is spontaneous emission, and third is stimulated emission. Okay, so if we see the first figure, so for that we have to consider two energy levels. First is lower energy level and next is upper energy level. Now in this case we are providing energy which is in terms of photons. What is the energy of photon? E is equal to
H nu.
EMC square.
yes, E is equal to h nu. Okay, so E is equal to mc square, that is also correct one, but we are using that in another manner. So here that energy, that is nothing but bundles or packets of energy which is called as photon, and that energy is nothing but E is equal to h nu. So this E is nothing but the difference between these two energy levels, E2 minus E1, which gives us the h nu. So when we are providing this energy to this system, then what happens? So this electron is jumping from lower state to higher state. Okay, in crystalline material or crystal level, if we consider, so in that case atomic levels are there and atoms are also exciting, going from one plane to another plane. So it is applicable to both in case of different laser types. So here this electron jumps from lower state to higher state, which is called as excitation, and that energy gets absorbed. That's why it is called as stimulated absorption. आणि stimulated म्हणजे काय, तर आपण एक्सटर्नल जी एनर्जी आहे तर ती प्रोव्हाइड करतोय. वी आर स्टिम्युलेटिंग दॅट सिस्टीम and it absorbing that system, that energy. That's why it is called as stimulated absorption. This is the first one. Now second is called as spontaneous emission. Okay, so this first is absorption, second is emission, and third also emission. First absorption, second emission, third emission. So from that you can get the idea easily. यामध्ये काय होतं, तर एनर्जी ऍब्सॉर्ब केली जाते इलेक्ट्रॉन्सना आणि लोअर स्टेट टू हायर स्टेट तो जम्प होतो, त्याला आपण म्हणतो स्टिम्युलेटेड ऍब्सॉर्प्शन. आता सेकंड मध्ये काय, दॅट इलेक्ट्रॉन इज ॲट हायर स्टेट ऑलरेडी and due to its natural tendency to attain the lower potential energy, it loses its energy after some time and downward transition takes place from higher level to lower level, or E2 to E1 we can consider. During that this photon gets emitted in terms of energy. So this photon gets emitted, that's why it is called as emission, and this happens spontaneously. That's why it is called as spontaneous emission. हे स्पॉन्टेनियसली होतं. याचं रिझन काय, तर त्या इलेक्ट्रॉनची नॅचरल टेंडन्सी असते, काही वेळानंतर तो एनर्जी लूज करून खालच्या स्टेटला यायचा प्रयत्न करतो, त्यावेळेस ही एनर्जी असते तर ती रिलीज होते. दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज स्पॉन्टेनियस इमिशन. नेक्स्ट इज कॉल्ड एज स्टिम्युलेटेड इमिशन, बाय विच वी कॅन गेट द लेझर बीम. ज्या प्रोसेसचा यूज करून आपण लेझर बीम तयार करतो. सो हियर this photon is triggering this electron which is at higher excited state already. So before spontaneous emission this takes place, otherwise you think that such spontaneous emission is there. So before spontaneous emission the photon triggers or induces this electron to make downward transition, and due to which what happens, that electron jumps from higher to lower state, emits the photon. So initial photon and the released photon, we are getting two equal identical photons. We are getting two equal identical photons. Now I have repeated twice. हे मी डबलदा रिपीट केलं. त्याचं रिझन काय हे लक्षात घ्या, की ज्या लेझरच्या अमेझिंग प्रॉपर्टीज आहेत, जे आम्ही म्हटलं की ते हायली कोहरंट असतात, हायली मोनोक्रोमॅटिक असतात, हायली इंटेन्स असतात, तर त्या सगळ्याचे रिझन काय, तर हे आहे इक्वल आयडेंटिकल प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ फोटॉन्स. and that's why we are getting laser beam which is having different applications over conventional sources. म्हणजे बाकीचे जे आपण आधीचे जे सोर्सेस वापरतो लाईटचे, तर त्याच्यापेक्षा ही जी लेझर बीम आहे तर त्याचे भरपूर ऍप्लिकेशन्स आहेत. You know that in case of industrial applications, in case of medical applications, we are using these laser beams. So these three terms which are the basic one to understand the laser beam. यातली जी ही प्रोसेस आहे ही वापरून आपण काय करतो, लेझर बीम मिळवतो. So here what happens to stimulated emission? In case of stimulated emission, we are getting two equal identical photons. These photons are triggering other two electrons to jump from higher to lower state. We are getting four equal identical photons, then 8, 16, 32, 64, etc. So lots of numbers of same photons we are getting, and that's why that laser beam is having some amazing properties. The next are some terms related to laser beam. याच्यामध्ये अजून काही ऍडिशनल टर्म्स आहेत, ज्याच्यामध्ये पहिला आहे पॉप्युलेशन इन्व्हर्जन, सेकंड आहे पंपिंग मेथड, आणि थर्ड आहे मेटास्टेबल स्टेट. तर पॉप्युलेशन इन्व्हर्जन म्हणजे काय, तर ते आपण चेक करूया. Population inversion is nothing but, from heading you guess that it is related to increasing the numbers as population is there. So if we consider the normal state, in that state the condition is N1 is greater than N2, where N1 is number of electrons in that state and N2 is number of electrons in that next state, that is E2. तर इथे जर तुम्ही बघितलं तर लक्षात येते की इथं जे इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आहेत, ठीक आहे, तर ते जास्त आहे त्याच्यापेक्षा. ओके, किंवा जर क्रिस्टल लेवल्सला जर बघितलं तर आपण त्याला ॲटम सुद्धा कन्सिडर करतो. सो number of electrons are present more in case of lower state initially. Now population inversion means what? We have to achieve this state, that is N2 is greater than N1. म्हणजे आपल्याला काय अचीव करायचंय, तर हे जे नंबर ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आहेत तर ते जास्तीत जास्त काय झाले पाहिजेत, वर गेले पाहिजेत, किंवा ॲटॉमिक लेवल्सला म्हटलं तर नंबर ऑफ ॲटम्स. हे मी का सांगतोय तर वेगवेगळे जे टाइप्स आहेत, म्हणजे काय तर सॉलिड लेझर असेल, लिक्विड लेझर असेल, गॅसियस लेझर असेल, सेमीकंडक्टर लेझर असेल, तर त्यानुसार ह्या डेफिनेशन्स बदलतात. इन केस ऑफ सेमीकंडक्टर लेझर we are considering electron transition, and in other cases atomic level transition are there. So here N2 is greater than N1 ही कंडिशन आपल्याला इथं अचीव करायची. when we achieve that, then it is called as population inversion. त्यावेळेस आपण त्याला काय म्हणतो तर पॉप्युलेशन इन्व्हर्जन म्हणतो. ठीक आहे, पण now is it true that we can get that thing indirectly or automatically? So answer is no. For that we have to provide some energy or heat or light to that system so that we can achieve this population inversion, that is getting energy and jumping from lower to higher state. So for that we are providing the energy to the system, that is called as pumping, or different methods called as pumping methods. Now the next figure, if you see, so here what we are doing, we are providing the energy to that atom, then it is jumping from lower state to higher state, which is called as optical pumping or absorption. Then these atoms are losing their energy due to spontaneous transition and comes to some state which is called as metastable state, which is our third point. So we have to understand this, what is meant by metastable state. Then stimulated emission takes place, once again spontaneous transition takes place, and this cycle goes on. Now this we have understood what is meant by absorption, what is meant by emission, etc. Now what is the role of metastable state? Metastable state जे आहे तर त्याचा रोल काय? So for that we have to understand first the concept which is called as lifetime. So lifetime of that atom in that particular energy level. For example, if we consider a ground state, then some upper states are there. So in this case, what happens? That particular atom absorbing the energy and accordingly it jumps from lower to higher state. Now there are certain other states also where the lifetime of that atom is more. आता लाईफटाईम म्हणजे काय तर ते आपण समजून घेऊया. काही काही एनर्जी लेवल्स असतात तर त्याचा लाईफटाईम काय असतो 10⁻⁶ to 10⁻⁹ सेकंड. Okay, so very short lifetime is there, 10⁻⁶ to 10⁻⁹ second. Some states which is called as metastable states, they are having a lifetime more than the previous one. It is 10⁻³ to 10⁻�6 second. तुम्ही म्हणाल हा सुद्धा सर शॉर्ट टाइमच आहे. yes, it is correct, but as compared to this previous one it is more. So the state where atom can stays for longer time is called as metastable state, and due to which what happens, we can achieve population inversion condition. त्याच्यामुळे इथं काय होणार, पॉप्युलेशन इन्व्हर्जन कंडिशन म्हणजे ते ॲटम्स आहेत तर ते तिथं एकत्र येतात आणि त्यानंतर स्टिम्युलेटेड इमिशन होणार, and we are getting number of photons or large number of photons of equal identical properties. Okay, getting these things?
Yes, sir.
सो दे आर लिंक्ड विथ इच अदर. त्याच्यासाठी आपल्याला पहिल्यांदा काय स्टिम्युलेटेड इमिशन काय ते समजून घ्यायला पाहिजे, ते आपण डिस्कस केलं. त्यानंतर पॉप्युलेशन इन्व्हर्जन म्हणजे काय, तर नंबर ऑफ ॲटम्स वाढवायचे खालच्या स्टेटवरून वरच्या स्टेटला. ते डायरेक्टली शक्य आहे का, तर नाही. त्याच्यासाठी काय केलं पाहिजे, एनर्जी प्रोव्हाइड केली पाहिजे, ती म्हणजे पंपिंग मेथड. आणि मेटास्टेबल स्टेट या अशा स्टेट आहेत की जिथं लाईफ टाईम काय असतो, जास्त असतो, आणि त्यामुळे आपल्याला स्टिम्युलेटेड इमिशन मिळतं. So all these things we are discussing here. We have discussed what is meant by stimulated absorption, spontaneous emission, stimulated emission, then population inversion, pumping, metastable state. आता properties of laser, ज्यामध्ये मी सांगितलं तुम्हाला की different properties are there. For example, they are highly coherent. Okay, so coherent means what? Simply the light waves are in phase with each other. So here you can see this light is having coherency, means these types of wave patterns are there every time, and that's why they are in phase with each other, while here you can see they are out of phase. Okay, so if we consider the coherency, they are in phase, and due to this another property we are getting, that is they are monochromatic. So monochrome means single color. So they are not monochromatic, they are highly monochromatic. Means sodium source, you know, is it right? Sodium source is a monochromatic source, is it correct? You have studied different experiments in that sodium source mentioned, is it correct? Monochromatic source, बरोबर आहे का? Yellow light having wavelength 5890 and 5896 angstrom, बरोबर आहे? Okay, so we are saying that sodium source has a monochromatic source, but if we take the spectrum of that sodium source, then we not only see the yellow color lines, but we can see some faint colors also. Means it is not perfectly monochromatic. म्हणजे तो सोर्स आपण जरी मोनोक्रोमॅटिक सोर्स म्हणत असलो तर तो perfectly monochromatic नाहीये. But in case of laser beam, we are getting perfectly monochromatic light, and this happens due to coherency, of course. Then directionality, if we consider the laser beam, so it can emit the light only in a single direction. Conventional source emits light in different direction. Now what is the reason behind that? The reason behind that is wavefront. Okay, so conventional source is having spherical wavefront. In case of this laser beam, it is having plane wavefront, and that's why we are getting the unidirectionality or single direction related to that laser beam. Then different other properties are also there. For example, divergence. So what is meant by divergence? To diverge means to spread. Okay, so if we consider the laser source, and if we consider the torch, and if we focus that on the wall, then what we can see from the same distance, in case of laser beam, we can see only a single high intense spot, is it correct?
Yes, sir.
And
Yes,
in
sir.
case of torch, a bright spot and a faint spot is surrounding that bright spot, is it right?
Yes, sir.
So what happens here? In case of laser beam, we are getting very sharp point which is having very less diameter, and in case of torch, spreading is more. So this is called as divergence. To divergence means to spread. So in conventional source, spreading is more. In case of our laser beam, just a minute. Okay, so in this case, Spreading is more in conventional source than the laser beam. The reason is wavefronts, and because of that spreading is there. Now, is it true that laser beam is having zero divergence? So it is not true. Laser beam is also having divergence, but as compared to conventional source it is less. म्हणजे जर आपण इथं डिस्टन्स वाढवत गेलो तर पहिल्यांदा जर डायमीटर एवढा असेल तर डिस्टन्स वाढवल्यावर तो वाढत जाणार, पण त्याचा डायव्हर्जन्स काय असणार आहे, कमी असणार आहे. कशाच्या कंपॅरिझन ना, तर कन्व्हेन्शनल सोर्सच्या कंपॅरिझन. ओके, गेटिंग दिस थिंग्स?
येस सर.
Yes, sir.
दीज आर
काय वाढत जाणार सर?
डायव्हर्जन्स म्हणजे त्याचं डायमीटर वाढत जाणार. ठीक आहे. आता तुम्ही जर घरी लेझर बीम असला तरी तुम्ही प्रयोग करू शकता, पण डिस्टन्स त्याला कन्सिडर करावं लागेल. तुम्ही जर आता तुम्हाला डिस्टन्स स्वतःला चेंज करावं लागेल, कारण का तुम्ही वॉल तर डिस्टर्ब करू शकत नाही. त्याच्यासाठी काय करू शकताय, जवळ उभारून जर लेझर बीम स्पॉट केली तर त्याचा अंदाजे डायमीटर तुम्ही चेक करू शकता. आणि जसं जसं तुम्ही मागं जाल वॉलपासनं तसं तसं त्याचं डायमीटर तुम्हाला काय दिसेल, थोडासा वाढलेला दिसेल. इज इट करेक्ट?
येस सर.
That is nothing.
Yes, sir.
That is nothing but divergence or spreading of light. So it comes under properties of laser. Next is helium neon laser, means one of the gaseous laser. आता मी जसं सांगितलं की वेगवेगळे टाइप्स आहेत, त्यातलंच आपल्या सिलेबसला काय तर गॅसियस लेझर आहे. इट इज अ मिक्सचर ऑफ हेलियम अँड निऑन, अँड वी आर युजिंग दिस फॉर laboratory purpose as it is a low power laser. Okay, high power laser means in industry we are using that for cutting the metals, for melting the metals, or drilling the things. So that is called as high power laser, and low power laser are for lab purposes. Now this figure gives us the idea that what exactly happens in case of helium neon laser at energy levels, or energy level diagram we can say. Helium and neon mixture we are using, and lots of things are happening here, so that we will discuss during the chapter discussion. It includes all the things. Spontaneous emission is there, then stimulated emission is there, ionization is there, transition is there, inelastic collision is there. So different things, different transition from different levels. Accordingly, we are getting different wavelengths. So that we will discuss afterwards. Now we move to the next chapter, that is unit number 7, optical fibers. So everyone give heading and start writing the sub points related to this OFC, optical fiber cable. So write these terms. I will give few minutes to you, complete it, and then we will discuss. Okay, so continue the write-up. What is the first point? 7.1. We starts with the introduction. then structure of optical fiber, then basic principle of optical fiber, which is total internal reflection. So everyone knows this concept. Next is 7.2 derivation for acceptance angle, then acceptance cone and numerical aperture, then fractional refractive index change and numericals on this chapter. Then 7.3 classification of optical fibers, in that single mode and multi-mode fiber is there. Then step index and graded index fibers are there. And last is advantages of optical fibers over conducting wires. So everyone write these points in your notebook. And after completion, we will discuss this. So these two terms that we are discussing right now, first is laser, second is OFC, that is optical fibers, which is having different applications, and nowadays we are using these things. Is it over or we have to wait?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Over.
So, okay. So now we will start discussion. For this, we start with one question. What is meant by total internal reflection? Can anybody tell? Total internal reflection. What happens in that case? Anyone unmute yourself, try to explain.
Complete reflection of a light in a medium.
Okay, in the same medium, is it right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so total means complete. You have used a internal means in the same medium reflection takes place. So if we see the heading, so that heading gives us information. So this is nothing but optical fiber cables. So in this figure, we can see a bunch of OFC or a bundle of optical fiber cables that we are using. So everyone have seen the LAN network, local area network, or if internet cable, you can observe carefully, which connected to CPU backside. So continuous blinking is there, wires are there, and that blinking, that wires are used to data transfer from one point to another point, transfer and receiving the signal. Now this figure gives us idea. You know that you have studied these things. That's called as total internal reflection. So for that we are considering two medium, N1 and N2, that is denser and rarer medium. So when we are passing the light through this, then refraction takes place at certain angles, it continues, and then the angle which is called as critical angle, what happens at that angle or more than that, this light gets totally internally reflected. Means within the medium that gets totally internally reflected. तर यालाच आपण काय म्हणतो, टोटल इंटरनल रिफ्लेक्शन. टोटल म्हणजे सगळीच्या सगळी लाईट, इंटरनल म्हणजे आतल्या बाजूला त्याच मीडियम मध्ये रिफ्लेक्ट होते. दॅट इज कॉल्ड एज टोटल इंटरनल रिफ्लेक्शन. Why we are discussing this? Because the same concept is used for the propagation of signal through optical fiber cable. याला आपण म्हणतो total internal reflection. So in this case we are checking the concept, then structure of optical fiber cable, then derivation. Derivation एक आहे कशाचं आहे, acceptance angle आहे, त्याच्याशी रिलेटेडच काही ऍडिशनल टर्म आहेत कुठल्या कुठल्या, acceptance cone, numerical aperture and fractional refractive index change. Okay, numerical aperture means nothing but light gathering capacity or light collecting capacity of that instrument, त्याला आपण म्हणतो numerical aperture. त्यानंतर न्यूमेरिकल्स आहेत या चॅप्टर मध्ये. नेक्स्ट इज क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ ऑप्टिकल फायबर्स. याला आपण क्लासिफाय करतो म्हणजे काय, तर वेगवेगळ्या ज्या प्रॉपर्टीज आहेत फिजिकल प्रॉपर्टीज, त्याच्यावरून ऑप्टिकल प्रॉपर्टीज डिफाईन होतात आणि आपण त्याला दोन टाइप मध्ये क्लासिफाय करतो. फर्स्ट इज मोड ऑफ प्रोपॅगेशन अँड सेकंड इज इंडेक्स प्रोफाईल. मोड ऑफ प्रोपॅगेशन म्हणजे काय आणि इंडेक्स प्रोफाईल काय ते आपण बघू, आणि सगळ्यात शेवटी ऍडव्हान्टेजेस. Total internal reflection, you know, now you can see the internal structure of this optical fiber cable. जर आपण OFC बघितली तर अशी असते साधारण. तुम्ही सेंटर पासून 3 लेयर जरी कन्सिडर केले तरी सुद्धा चालते. Okay, so if we see these things, so inner one or inner cylinder is called as core, then it is surrounded by cladding, and that cladding is surrounded by coating. Okay, so up to these 3 layers it is okay. त्यानंतर मग strength membrane, outer jacket layer, etc. आहे. So 4-5 layers are there in detail. So we restrict up to these 3. First, inner one is called as core. The next layer is called as cladding, and the outer protecting jacket layer or coating is there. Now the question is which type of material we are using to fabricate this core cladding. So it is a glass material or silica material. Okay, so from this glass material or silica material we are fabricating this optical fiber cable inner cylinders. Now what is the condition here? So if we consider the core here and cladding is surrounding the core. Okay, so when we are passing the light through this optical fiber cable, when total internal reflection takes place, then only that signal propagates like this. I can extend this slightly. Okay, तर total internal reflection जो आपण concept discuss केला तो कशासाठी. So the same principle is used for the working of the optical fiber cable. Means when that total internal reflection takes place, then only that light signal passes from one point to another point in case of OFCs. That's why we are maintaining the refractive indices of these materials such that if it is N1 for core and N2 for cladding, then the condition is N1 is greater than N2. Okay, आताच आपण टोटल इंटरनल रिफ्लेक्शन बघितलं, त्यात काय बघितलं आपण, डेन्सर टू रेअरर मीडियम, राईट? इज इट करेक्ट? डेन्सर टू रेअरर मीडियम. तर इथं आपण तेच करतोय, इथं आपण तोच कन्सेप्ट वापरतो आणि ऑप्टिकल फायबर केबल्स मध्ये जे लाईट प्रोपॅगेशन आहे तर ते करतो. लाईट प्रोपॅगेशन इज नथिंग बट आवर सिग्नल्स अँड वी आर पासिंग दिस सिग्नल्स फ्रॉम वन पॉइंट टू अनदर पॉइंट. So that is nothing but the principle behind this optical fiber cable. Okay, now in detail you can see here the same figure. In that lots of things are there because we have to consider the acceptance angle डेरिवेशन. तर इथे जर तुम्ही बघितलं तर इथं मगाशी सांगितलं तसं ही कंडिशन आहेच आहे. N1 is greater than N2, where N1 is refractive index of core, N2 is refractive index of cladding. Here N2 is refractive index of cladding. ठीक आहे. आता याच्यामध्ये आपण काय करतो तर ही लाईट बाहेरून एंटर होऊन आत ती कंडिशन सॅटिस्फाय करून कशी टोटल इंटरनल रिफ्लेक्ट होते हे सगळं डिस्कस करतो. सो वी आर नॉट गोइंग इन द डिटेल्स राईट नाउ. Just we are checking the incident ray and this angle which is called as acceptance angle. तर हा acceptance angle आहे, त्याचं डेरिवेशन आपल्याला चेक करायचं आहे आणि त्याच्यावरूनच बाकीचे सगळे पॉइंट्स आहेत तर ते कंटिन्यू करतो आपण. ओके, सो दिस इज अ क्लासिफिकेशन ऑफ ऑप्टिकल फायबर केबल. या क्लासिफिकेशन मध्ये इथं तुम्ही बघू शकता की सिंगल मोड आणि मल्टी मोड फायबर्स दिलेले आहेत. त्यानंतर स्टेप इंडेक्स आणि ग्रेडेड इंडेक्स फायबर्स दिलेले आहेत. तर हे इन शॉर्ट फक्त सांगतो की मोड्स ऑफ प्रोपॅगेशन म्हणजे काय, तर ती ऑप्टिकल फायबर केबल किती पाथ्स किंवा किती वेज अलाउड करते एकच ऑप्टिकल फायबर. जर ती एकच पाथ अलाउड करत असेल तर आपण त्याला काय म्हणणार, सिंगल मोड ऑप्टिकल फायबर केबल. जर ती डिफरंट पाथ्स अलाउड करत असेल तर तिला आपण काय म्हणणार, मल्टी मोड ऑप्टिकल फायबर केबल. गेटिंग दिस? मोड्स म्हणजे
Yes,
काय,
sir.
हाऊ मेनी वेज और हाऊ मेनी पाथ्स इट इज अलाउइंग, त्याला आपण म्हणतो मोड्स ऑफ प्रोपॅगेशन. आता सिंगल मोड म्हणजे काय, तर एकच पाथ असणार आहे. मल्टी मोड म्हणजे काय, मल्टिपल पाथ्स असणार. याच्यावरून आपण त्याला डिफरन्शिएट करतो. पुढचा प्रकार काय, तर इंडेक्स प्रोफाईल, स्टेप इंडेक्स आणि ग्रेडेड इंडेक्स. इंडेक्स प्रोफाईल म्हणजे काय, तर रिफ्रॅक्टिव्ह इंडेक्स. म्हणजे आतली जी कोर आहे तर त्याची रिफ्रॅक्टिव्ह इंडेक्स जशी बदलल तसं प्रोपॅगेशन बदलतं. तर इथे तुम्ही या फिगरमध्ये बघू शकताय. In this case, zigzag or step-by-step propagation is there for signal, and here it is a smooth or gradual propagation is there. Okay, so this is step-by-step. That's why it is called as step index. This is gradual or smooth. That's why it is called as graded index. What is the difference? Difference between these two is symbolically you can see here. इथे जर तुम्ही बघितलं तर इथे आपण स्ट्रेट लाईन दाखवली. इथे जर बघितलं तर हा कर्व दाखवलाय. हा कशासाठी, तर कोअरची रिफ्रॅक्टिव्ह इंडेक्स इथं काय असते, सेम असते आणि इथं कोअरची रिफ्रॅक्टिव्ह इंडेक्स सेम नसते. इथं नॉन युनिफॉर्म असते. त्याच्यामुळे आपल्याला हा प्रोपॅगेशन ऑफ पाथ चेंज झालेला दिसतो. तर एक्झॅक्टली ते काय होतं आणि आपण हे का करतो तर हे आपण त्यावेळेस डिस्कस करूया. नाव वी मूव टू द लास्ट वन. So everyone give heading unit number 8, introduction to quantum mechanics and nanotechnology, and everyone start writing the sub points. So complete the points and then we will discuss. So meanwhile I will take attendance also. You can write this. We have to conclude within 5 minutes because I have another lecture continuously. Roll number 3. Roll number 14. Roll number 17, 19, 28, 31, 32.
Sir, 14 present.
Roll number 14.
रिनेम केलं सर ते.
Okay.
correction.
Two. Okay, so I request everyone take screenshot if you have not completed, and you can complete it. So I hope that you are taking screenshot of these things after completion of that whole PPT or PDF file. I will send it to you, but in advance you have to write these things. Okay, anyway, so we will conclude today, and next lecture we will discuss these things, take revision and start our first chapter. Okay.